Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Friday. Good morning. Come on in. TGIF. I agree with you 100%. It is a glorious day. It is a glorious day to be a Friday, and it is absolutely delicious energy coming in this weekend. The one thing, and I am going to go right into Ask the Medium. So I am going to give you guys an opportunity this morning to just throw some questions at me. I just want to very briefly, for like a minute, share what Spirit said to me during meditation, because it's brief, but I think it felt very important that I share it this morning. Excuse me, sorry. Um, be careful this weekend not to take on too much. When I sat with Spirit this morning, that was a huge instant energy. Just be careful how much you're piling on yourself this weekend. There seems to be this overdoing energy that's flowing around us that we're like picking up all the stuff to do. And I just be careful with the overwhelm and taking on too much. Finding that moment this weekend to just breathe, enjoy, rest. Just don't take on too much. Spirit kept trying to lift things off me. Literally, like, take that off, take that off. Watch the overload, because I think this weekend has a big potential to overload ourselves, or to take on too much, or to um, stay in that too busy for the next couple days. It's just coming into my awareness big time in meditation. I was even given a heads up with Spirit, and I looked at my weekend agenda and I thought, oh yeah, that is kind of busy. You're right. Don't add too much more, is what Spirit said. Don't add too much more. So watch your agendas, watch how overload you are, watch that busy space. Let's jump right in to some questions here this morning, because I want to use the time. I have about 45 minutes ish for some questions. So I want to give you guys every moment of my time to ask your questions. Okay, to jump the gun real quick, we just had a financial face. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Shy. If you can give me a little bit more information on that. Um, oh, face plate. I'm still not quite sure what that means, Shy. If you can just explain that a little bit more or message me later with some more details. Caitlin, good morning, Lana. I've been wondering if there's any family members that have been visiting me. I feel like they are always all around you. Number one, Spirit is always all around us. Our awareness is shifting. I also feel your awareness is shifting. I think there's more out there. I think there's more connection. I think I'm more aware. I also feel you growing very big, Caitlin. The first thing that comes into my awareness though is a mother figure. So mom, grandmother, someone that was like a mom. She's showing me the month of May, or the number 5, as being very significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. And I also feel a lot of support, and it's a lot of support from angels and guides and ancestors. You're very supported. So I don't know if you've been feeling lack of support or needing support. They want you to know that they're all around you supporting you. So I want to make sure that you feel that. You just feel so supported. So where do we need to go here? Sorry. Face plant. Okay, financial face plant. I feel with that, Shy, I feel like I feel like you're gonna pick yourself up and dust yourself off with it. I feel like I've just got to, shift into, yes, the awareness that I've had this financial face plant, but I also feel you're gonna pick yourself up and dust yourself off with it. I don't feel it really as big limiting. I feel like it's something that you're gonna work through fairly quickly. It feels like a very temporary energy around with this financial piece. I don't feel it long term. So I feel it very short lived, is kind of how I feel it with that. Even though face plant feels like a big word to me, I don't feel it energetically as a big problem. Maria, my dad's passing has been really hard on my mom. Has he got any messages for her? The first thing that was like hollered at me, lovingly hollered at me, is I'm not gone. So I say this all the time here on the channel, Maria. I have this argument with Spirit all the time. We feel them gone because they're not physically here. They always say we're not gone. He's been trying very much to let her know that, and I feel like I have to say that she doesn't have to go anywhere specific to feel him or visit him. So I don't know if she feels like she has to go somewhere specifically to visit him or to tap in. He's very much all the way around, all around her. He's also trying to hold her together. And I also feel like very, very connected. I feel like very deep relationship. relationship here. So this has to be a long relationship, a very deep connected relationship. I also feel the month of June, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing, and I'm hearing a lot of birds, like the song, like morning birds. Like, you know how birds sing a lot in the morning. So I don't know if there's a lot of birds that have been coming around her, or if it's a morning reference, like if he's around like more in the morning, if it was an early bird. But I feel like I've got to acknowledge all this bird chirping. He's also really pushing her, and mom is lovingly stubborn, is kind of how I feel, because I feel the resistance there with him pushing her forward to continue to live and to continue to go forward in that momentum. I feel like she really feels like I can't go on. I can't go forward. I don't know how to live without you. I've got like a rooster top going on in my hair here this morning. Um, so I feel like I've got to give her that permission to one day at a time to just keep going forward. And does she also keep a really clean house? I know this is going to sound like a weird reference, but I see her like cleaning and fussing around the house. He's asking her to take a break and just kind of chill and pause. So I don't know if she's been trying to keep herself really busy or if she generally is really busy, but I feel like he's with her with all this busyness or this. There's something with this really clean house. I will leave that there for you, Maria. Does Kayla have any messages or Kayla, does Spirit have any messages for me? Thank you as always. I need to sip my coffee here. Kayla, when I lean into your energy, I feel quite proud. Your spirit guides and your ancestors up in the spirit dimensions are very proud of you. I feel like you have really done some really hard work. I feel like you've done some big healing work. I feel like you've accomplished things, and what they're saying is this is just the beginning of something very, very new. So I don't know what newness you've been kind of working on, Kayla. It feels more spiritual. I feel like there's like the beginning of new growth, beginning of new pathways, beginning of new, and I really feel that proud of allowing. And I really feel like you've been calling spirit in a lot more, that you've been kind of tuning in with. I can see your dial. It's easier for you lately, I think, to tune in to energy and to feeling them. And they're also encouraging you to enjoy a big feeling of enjoying the journey here, enjoying every step, enjoying the process, enjoying. I also just have to throw out there, and I will watch the chat, but I have a dad with me. I feel like he was a mechanic in the physical world, or worked on cars. It might, even if it wasn't as a profession, it was a big part of who he was. So I can see like mechanic hands, and I can smell mechanic grease. He was also showing me the month of August, significant anniversary, birthday, or passing, and there is definitely an upper Cancer reference. I feel like I've got an upper Cancer, so I'm going to say like this way. That's how I feel. Um, and I feel like this is the first time he's connected here. So I don't know if there's anybody who hasn't connected to him before, but I feel like this is a new connection. I'm going to leave him here for someone to acknowledge him, and then I'll go a little bit deeper. Good morning, Lana. I'd love to hear from my sister who passed when she was 4 and I was 1. As I'm reading that, I really feel a lot of like that magical energy. She comes with you, like things with tiny wings, fireflies, fairy energy, and I feel like the reference is more connected to don't grow up. Like I feel, and then she's literally singing. I'm not sure who sings it. Don't you ever grow up? But she's singing that, and what that reference is that inner child piece. She's really been pushing you to play, to be childlike, and to bring that forward just a little bit more. I feel like you do have a playful energy, but I feel like I've got to turn that up a little bit. So perhaps whatever resonates with you with that kind of energy. And it's and here. Oh, I like this one. Um, if there's been some frustration, and we all have frustration, she's saying to in order to move that energy, to stomp your feet, to really literally stomp your feet, like in that like almost like that stubborn temper tantrumish, to release it. It's more of a release. And she's also talking a lot about release. So I don't know if you struggle with letting go, with things in general, or with the overthinking piece, but she's just bringing in this very playful, it's a playful stomping my feet. And music is really big here. She's turning up the music. and she's also really pushing that throat chakra on me. So I would try some singing or some chanting if you're struggling with speaking your truth, or if there's something that you need to say. She's really pushing through like this singing piece or this chanting piece. I hope that that resonates there with you. I also feel like you're quite aware of her presence around you. I feel like you have this knowing. There she is. I feel that. And I feel, yes, she passed when she was very young, but I also feel energetically. Um, that was a big part of her soul's energy, with that playful, with that laughing, with that momentum there. Shaz, I've been feeling good for a while till, sorry, till I hit a low again. Anything from my spirit guides. Shaz, I feel like sometimes we have to, when we hit a low, we have to simply acknowledge that and not be so quick to push it away. We don't have to stay in that low, but even our low points in our life, even that hard stuff, it has something to teach us. And I've just got to say to yourself, can you feel into that? Can you just feel into that? But I also feel like I've got to say, don't hold it in your physical body. So have you been feeling a little bit achy or tight? I'm more in my upper body there, Shaz. I feel like you're holding a little bit of body movement, whether it just be simply some stretches or whether it be a little bit of yoga. I feel like I've got to get your body, and it feels slow to me. It has, like, for me, it's something slow moving, even like a slow dance. I feel like I just got to slowly move my body, some little bit of stretches, because I feel like you hold. I hope physically. So I tap into your physical body, Shaz, and I don't feel it as a medical issue. I feel it as an energy. So I hope that that helps you there. Give yourself some time to stretch and to move through it. It's that moving through it. I also feel like over the weekend, I just feel like I've got that, and I don't know why spirits really I had a group session last night too, and the music was like I was literally channeling with a lot of songs, and it was profound. But that song, "Shake It Off." Play that and just kind of lightly shake. Tammy Azidi, anything for me today? Tammy, when I literally lit up like a Christmas tree when you asked me that question. I think there's just so much happiness and joy around you from the spirit dimensions that I have to say, um smile bigger today. Just try it. You might understand it as the day goes on. I feel like I've really got a smile. There's a lot of smiling energy around. I also have a father figure there, Tammy. So father, grandfather, or someone like a father to you, that is literally smiling down, literally like with this joy feeling, literally with tapping into how that feels. And I feel like your connecting and your intuition has become sharper and sharper and sharper. And I feel like I've got to say, good job for you. Good job for you. I also feel like I have to say, don't sweat the small stuff. So I don't know if you've been, a little bit worried, or if there's something going on. I just feel like I have to say that to you. Don't sweat the small stuff. And I know that saying, and it's all small stuff. I feel like I've got to give that to you. So I hope that that resonates there for you. Balance and bliss. What a lovely um, profile name. Hi, Lana. Going to propose for marriage. Come back into her life, accept her and his family, and when my beloved husband has to say from the other side. I'm just having a feeling of there. Number one, I feel a lot of happiness and a lot of joy. I also feel like you've got to live your journey. I feel like taking those steps, you're very much supported in those steps. I also feel that I've got to give you that push. So I don't know if you've been hesitant, or just kind of like, am I sure I'm okay to do this? Very much you are. You're very much supported. Your happiness is very important. Very important. It's like the only thing that matters is kind of how the words that I have to give you. I hope that that resonates there with you. Okay. Caitlin, thank you. Lanny, yes, I've been feeling lack of support. My grandma passed away in December. I think her birthday is in May. I feel better knowing they are around. They are always around. Always know that, even when we don't feel them. So I had somebody say to me yesterday, "Well, I don't feel my loved ones around, or I don't hear them, or I'm not getting signs." Spirit works very different all the time. So sometimes we may not feel them, we may not hear them, we may not get those spirit signs. Go to the knowing. I know that you're here. Thank you for coming. I need you to help me. Go to that knowing, because they are truly all here. Um Sorry, you guys. There we go. Peyton, hey, Lana, my question today is if the person I've been connected with lately is really genuine in what he says. He feels right, but I always worry. So, Peyton, I feel, and this is how they're giving it to me. I feel right now you're right where you're supposed to be, and there is, and I do, and I'm always honest, Peyton. I don't know. I don't. they're truly not telling me, and perhaps it's a bit of that trust growth for you. I truly don't know if this is like a life, forever journey piece. I don't know. That doesn't mean that it is, and it doesn't mean that it isn't. But I also feel that there's a lot of teaching right now around you. So from your spirit guide, your ancestors, even people teaching you to start to trust those feelings because I think it's part of the healing process for you. So when you think back over your journey, has trust with people, have you had spidey senses before and didn't listen? This doesn't feel great. Maybe I shouldn't get too involved in this friendship. And I feel like you're learning to trust that and to heal that for new beginnings. I feel good, and I have to talk. And people always kind of roll their eyes at me when I say this. The power of right now is huge. Right now, this is a great feeling. Right now, this is where the learning is. Right now, I have to trust and surrender a little bit. I also feel, Peyton, and this is kind of interesting. Well, this is kind of interesting. I feel like you've been slowly removing bricks around a lovely castle that you built around yourself, that protection space. I feel like you've been slowly taking down out bricks, and I can see a lot more light flowing through the castle, and that castle representing you. I can feel a lot more light in there. Experiences and learning are always going to come at us, and I feel like for it's always for a higher purpose. I feel like I've got to get you to really enjoy right now, really trusting what you're feeling in that intuitive piece and allowing that. I also feel that this has been a slow and gentle growth with this person. I feel like there's been some slow and gentle growth, and I don't feel like it's been a push. You know what I mean? I don't feel like you're being pressured or pushed, and I don't feel like you're pressuring or pushing yourself. But I feel like I've got to say, you know what? One more brick out of the castle. One more brick. Slowly taking down a little bit of that and allowing that more of that light and energy. I also feel unconditional here. I feel a big unconditional. So I feel like this person doesn't want to hold you back, doesn't want to regulate you or control. I don't feel any of that. I feel a lot of space to grow in this relationship individually and together. And I think that's really, really big, and that's huge for me. In all of my relationships and all of my friendships, they have to be unconditional. I have to be able to do me and do us and do me and do us, and I feel like you've got that there. I don't feel like you don't have that. I don't feel like there's a puppet string on you where I'll like you if or I'll like you when. I don't feel that at all. I feel like you've got a lot of free flowing energy there. I hope that that resonates there with you, Miss Peyton. And it's good to see you here this morning. It's good to see all of you here this morning. Horizon Phoenix. Is there anything more than energy tied to our replacement? It feels different from the rest. Is there anything more than energy? Horizon Phoenix, my apologies for not understanding that question. I'm not quite sure what to our replacement. I'm not quite sure what that means, darling. If you can just expand that a little bit for me. Um, Adrian McCarthy. Good morning. When someone passes, could they be in the spirit world and reincarnate? Oh, this question came up at my group session last night. Um, could they be in the spirit world and reincarnated at the same time? Also, if you have any time, any spirit messages for me, thank you for all that you do. You are very welcome, darling, and welcome to our chat this morning. So this is a big question, and it's very interesting because I'm doing past life regressions today in person, which is why my time is a little bit limited. I've got a couple of regressions. So let me break this down. So can they be in the spirit world and reincarnate back? So I can only share with you what I've learned through my past life regression experiences and from my chats with spirit. So the soul is multidimensional and it's non-physical. So it can communicate, in many different ways. So yes, it is possible that we can reincarnate and I can still channel that person. We can also be having multiple experiences at one time. Absolutely. Now, And here's where the theory is, and I'm going to be very clear. I don't ever claim to hold all the answers. So and if it doesn't resonate with you, I'm perfectly okay with that. What I've been shown through the past life regression work that I've done, and I've done a lot of learning through Dr. Brian Weiss. You're welcome to look him up and read his books. Is when we return, so let's say you've got loved ones up in the spirit dimensions, and when you pass, our soul families do reconnect. So if they've reincarnated while you were continue living your life, when you return to the spirit dimensions, you will connect to their soul, so they will have returned. And when you think about it with reincarnation, you can reincarnate for a very short time. You can reincarnate as an animal, you can reincarnate as a tree, you can reincarnate as a fish, you can reincarnate as a person that doesn't stay here very long, right? So the reason for that is there is a reconnection of that soul family. Because imagine arriving in the spirit dimensions and saying, "Here I am. Where's my loved ones?" And it's like, "Oh, sorry, they just left for the next lifetime." Right? So we do get to reconnect with them. And remember, there's no time up there. So like there's it doesn't exist. So and it's very difficult to kind of connect with the whole timeline up there. But absolutely, you can reincarnate, and I can be channeling that soul because it's non-physical. I'm connecting to the non-physical. Absolutely. So that was a great question, and it came up last night. Like I said, I had this group session that I did. Somebody asked that exact same question. Um, any messages for me? So when I lean into that, darling, I keep seeing Archangel Michael's electric blue fire. So when I see that fire, I or that energy and that light from Archangel Michael, it's big protection, and and he is a big energy to connect to. And I feel like he's been kind of like surrounding you in not just love and light and protection, but in a lot of that growth energy and a lot of that your safe energy, and I feel like he wants to connect with you. So very simple things that you can do: simply close your eyes. Archangel Michael, can you join me? Have some conversations, or carrying a blue crystal, wearing blue. I feel like he's really trying to come in, and I don't see this very often in this way. He's really trying to come in and let you know that you're safe. So have you felt like insecure or not always safe, either energetically or there's just this safety energy? I've got you, and I want you to connect to that safety energy. I, with the archangels, will often say, "Okay, guys, I'll talk to them, and I'll say, can you guys go up to my rooftop and just kind of protect me overnight, or come with me?" I feel like I've got to increase that chatter between you and Archangel Michael. I hope that resonates there with you, Caitlin. Thank you, Lana. Yes, I've been feeling okay. I did read that one. Is everything going to go smoothly next weekend? Charles is supposed to come home, and I to move in with him. Fairly smoothly. What's with smoothie today? A smoothie on my brain. Um, I feel like it's going to go fairly smoothly. I mean, smoothly. What is it with smoothie? I do feel though like it's not perfectly smooth. There's going to be like just a little bit, like a little bit of gravel road kind of feeling, but I don't feel terrible with it. And I feel it's just more. It feels more like the energy of tired, of like just tired. Like it's going to be busy, and I just feel like it's. I feel like I've got to just kind of rest up for that weekend. But I do feel fairly smooth. Life, I don't really believe is always like crystal smooth, like a glass lake. I always feel like we do have a little bit of wave, but I don't feel terrible there with that at all. That's what she said. I hope that helps you there. Enjoy. I also can't move on from that yet, so I really need you to really kind of tap into the magic of the moment. Really enjoy the moment. So when Charles is moving in, and really enjoy that feeling, really enjoy that new beginning, really tap into the energy of it. Take a step back and just kind of feel it, just kind of observe that energy and really let it, and I let it sink in, let it embed in. Sometimes we don't do that often enough, or we don't say, "I'm just going to enjoy this feeling right now. I'm just going to step back and just feel it." I really feel like I got to get you to feel that, right? It's a big new beginning. So feel that energy, let it seep in. I hope that helps. Julie, morning, Lana. Does my dog have any messages for me? Is she in any pain? She's really slowing down lately. She's on meds for seizures. Just wondering if there's anything more. So, Julie, I first thing I hear is, I feel like I need you to know that you're doing the right thing and doing your best with it. So, I don't know if you've been struggling with, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough for her? You are, or for the dog? You are. I don't feel pain, so I don't feel pain, um, but I am a little. I'm restless though. So has this dog been restless? Like I feel like I'm a little bit restless, but I don't feel like I'm in pain. I also feel and is she on the older end? Because I feel like an older energy physically with her there, or perhaps it's more of her health that I feel into there. Um, and when with the seizures, is it usually like she does really, really well, and then bang, I'm having quite a few seizures? I just need a little bit of validation on that. She keeps telling me over and over, "You're doing really well managing her. You're doing really well managing her." I do have a little bit of a sensitivity in my teeth, though. Does she have it? My teeth are, I'm very, very, they're very, very sensitive. Like I feel like I got the sensitivity in my teeth. But I feel like you're doing really well. There's Fran. Let's all wish Fran a happy birthday. Fran had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Fran. Um, Good morning, Lana. Anything to do with this new career I chose? Was it worth it? Oh, hi, Mel. I just clicked in. I know. Hello, Mel. Um, was it worth it? I do feel it was worth it. 100%. And I feel like I've got to get you to be very proud. I feel like I've got to get you to really tap into that. I'm doing my best for self-improvement, both, financially, both career-wise, both, spiritually. I feel like I've got to get you and again, with this sitting back and just kind of observing how well that you're doing and the effort that you're doing. This is a really big looking at all your efforts. And I feel like all those efforts, and it's not just with this career, I feel like it's all of it. All of this effort is you doing your very best for forward momentum, not just for yourself, but for your family. And I feel like I've got to literally, and I don't know why, but I feel like I've got to salute you. Well done. So I don't know if there's any kind of military or policing in your background or from your ancestors, but I feel like I've got to, salute you with all of the effort there that you've been doing. I do feel it's going to be worth it. I really do. And I get it. New careers and changing the path and going in new directions, it's turbulent. And it is, it's turbulent. But I feel on the other side of that turbulence, I feel like I can soften my shoulders. I just have to say, continue with your trust. You have great trust, and it's normal. And this is what I have to say to you, it's normal to question things. And so I don't want you to feel like you're beating yourself up. Overthinking or questioning things is very different than your intuition. So when I say, Mal, go into your gut feeling, go back to how this felt, go back to that. How does it feel to you? Where's your knowing? Because I feel like you have that very deeply. Yeah, I know. It's just that this hard stuff, when it's hard, we do tend, or when it's not quite going as smoothly, we we feel that, am I on the right path? Where am I on the right path? I feel that you are on the right path. And I feel like all of these stepping stones that you've been taking, and we're always taking those stepping stones, right? Like this is going to bring us here, and this is going to bring us here, and this is going to bring us here. I feel like you are going the right way. So I hope that that resonates there with you, Miss Mel. And it's nice to see you on the chat. Shy, thanks, Lana. Sorry I had to instantly talk about it with my boyfriend. We came to a nice agreement with it right away. I just had to be sure. You are very welcome. Holly, I'm troubled, wondering if we should move away from our beach town back to the city. Can Spirit guide to help us, or should we start to travel? Oh wait, okay. So Holly, this is a great one, and I feel a lot of excitement. I almost wanted to speed up to the end of your question. I feel a lot of excitement, and I also feel that with this and with a lot of things, we do have choice and free will. Right, we always have choice and free will, and I feel that when if I just want you to kind of like really feel into this. I feel like you're ready for change. I just feel, and yes, there's a hesitancy. I mean, living in a beach town, I mean, that's delicious energy. And I feel like staying in that beach town isn't a bad idea, isn't bad either. I don't feel like staying is wrong, but I feel like I'm ready to change. I'm ready for a different adventure. I feel I literally want to turn a page. That's how I'm feeling. The timing of that, um I don't feel any time pressure. I think that if you wanted to wait 6 months or wait a year, there's no wrong answer with the time here. I feel like it's like, okay, I'm ready. But I feel like there's just this salivating energy about I'm ready for change. It's time, right? I feel like I'm ready. That's how it feels to me. So when you feel ready, when you feel like it's now, because I don't feel staying at the beach house is bad or in the beach town is bad either. So when you feel ready, I feel like change. And I do feel like change is something that you're very good with. Adventure is something that you're very good with. I feel like you've got a lot of go with the flow energy, Holly. And I literally wanted to, how a Hawaiian dance. So I don't know if Hawaii's on your list or not, but I literally, that movement where their hips go. That's how I feel with you energetically, and I love it. It's like I just love that lightness with you. I feel just this lightness and this hip dance. So and it just feels so spunky and it just feels so great, so great. So I feel like like if it, when that it's this is time for adventure, and if you decide that you want to wait another year or another 6 months, whatever it feels, that's not wrong. I don't feel any pressure time wise with you at all. I also feel if you move back into a city, I also feel quiet neighborhood. I don't feel you in a lot of chaotic neighborhood. I don't feel you in a downtown core anywhere. And I feel like, and when what they're this is interesting because they're showing me my neighborhood, which is I live in a fairly big neighborhood, but there's a forest right near me, and I can literally, like, it's like literally half a block, and I'm standing in a beautiful magical forest, and but I'm really in the city, but I'm so much in the forest. I feel like there's that. Like, yes, you're in the city, but I don't feel like you're in a chaotic energy with the city either. So I'll leave that there with you. Um, Caitlin, I have one more question. Is there any advice from my spiritual counsel or angels? And it was instant. I wasn't even finished reading it. Sit with them, sit down and call them forward and have a lovely little chat and allow whatever comes. I feel like they want that it's like you're ready to sit with them. If that makes sense. I know it's kind of a wide open answer, but they're literally like have her sit down and chat with us and just literally say hey. And when I first started doing spirit council work, the connecting was kind of interesting. So what I would do is I would sit at my kitchen table, and you're gonna laugh, but it's okay, and I would set out like a little kid's teacup set, and I would just literally say, "That's for that spirit guide." And I would sit there and I would have my chats, because I had trouble in the early beginning with meditation to reconnect with my counsel. And when I had my own experience with death, when I went over there and sat with my spirit counsel, it was literally like a big boardroom table, and I just kind of mimicked what it looked like so that I could reconnect to the energy. I hope that helps there. There's got to be someone who's got a father figure who was a mechanic. He's starting to really poke at me to connect here. So I'm going to scroll down soon and see. Kayla, I'm moving to America this year. I know it's going to be a new spiritual journey. I'm nervous. Thank you, Lana. You're very welcome. That's a big step. It's a big step, and I feel like it's going to go very well. It's going to have its moments, but it's going to go very, very well. And the spiritual journey is always delicious. Spring, are there any messages for me today? Thank you, Lana. You guys, please hit the like button. Thank you, Spring. Um, Spring. Now I do know a little bit about spring, so I'm just gonna be very clear with that. I always the integrity thing with me. I do know a little bit about spring. So spring, I really feel that I've got to get you to just sit for a moment today, palms up, and I don't know why palms up, but I literally have to go palms up, and I need you to just kind of feel how well you're doing. I don't know if you've been extra hard on yourself or if things have been where you're struggling with it. Am I doing enough? I need you to feel into that for a moment. I just need you to sit and pause and feel it. I also feel that, and I can see like a glue stick. I can see that you're trying to keep things glued together, and I feel like you glue something together, and then it's like the cracks again, and then you glue it together, and then it cracks again. All all of those pieces are going to come together, and all of those pieces are going to eventually stick. I also have to really tap into that whole analogy of we all have broken pieces. Every one of us. Our family members have broken pieces that they put back together. Everybody has broken pieces, and it's okay. It's what gives us our uniqueness. It's what gives us our strength. It's what helps us learn and what helps us grow. And I just have to kind of give you that and you are very strong in your faith. You are very very strong in your spiritual beliefs, and I just need to applaud you and hold you in that. I really feel like I just got to embrace that and hold you in that. All right. Maria, thank you, Lana. I love tripping birds. They remind me of him. There we go. Yes, my mom is obsessed with cleaning and we kind of make her stop. There we go. So, Dad, there's some validation in that. And it's just validation that I'm channeling Dad. I mean, I don't know your mom or what she's like, or I don't know you. So, it's just some validation. He's really trying to help her. Mandy Greenhill, good morning, all. I'm so grateful for these lives. We are grateful to have you join us, Miss Mandy. It's beautiful to see you. Camilla, does my grandmother have any signs she sends to me? Sorry, does my grandmother have any signs she sends to tell me that she's here? Spirit is often changing their signs. Camilla, when I tap in there, I feel like there's a lot of coins. But I'm also up at the sky. So because when I was looking down at the coins around my feet, she literally went like this with the sky. So, things in the sky, and it can be the day sky or the night sky, cloud formations, birds flying by, stars. She just keeps going with this with the looking up with me. Keep your eye on the sky, and in anything in the sky. Like she's showing me rainbows. She's showing me magic sky stuff. She keeps doing that with eye on the sky. There's also probably a reference in there with your chin up. So I don't know if you've been looking down at yourself or if you've been looking down. I keep seeing. I have to look at my feet. I don't know why. And she just keeps saying you're going the right way. Get your chin up. It's up. It's up. Right. She's also very lovingly firm with me. She's literally firm with that. I love that. Um, Mandy, I had a brother-in-law who did a lot of mechanic work. Okay, so Mandy, I'm just going to tap into this a little bit more with when I lean into him. I felt it father. So number one, would he have to be? Was he a father? 'Cause I felt that very father figure. I also have to go September, March, and June. Significant anniversary, birthday, or passing. Let's see if that resonates there. Wes, don't you ever grow up sounds like a quote from Peter Pan. Maria, he used to paint, and we kept one of his paintings of a sparrow. Oh, I love that. Beautiful, beautiful. Bonnie, sounds like my brother-in-law, the mechanic with upper cancer. Okay. Any of those months resonate there. He's also very lovingly what's the best, I don't want to use the word stubborn, but like he definitely had a presence. He definitely had, when he was around, it was like there was no ignoring that he was there, like very present, like very verbal, but not in a bad way, like in a very like, I'm here and this is what I have to say. He's like an announcer to me, and it's almost like here, like he just announces a lot of things. And basically his presence is one of them. Like I feel like I'm here, like the good times roll. That's how I feel there. He's actually toasting with a cold beer in his hand, but I don't feel the alcohol was a significant. Like I don't feel like it was part of his passing or anything at all. I just feel like it's like I'm here. Um, all right, you guys. Sorry. Where do we go here? Smash that like button, guys. Thanks, you guys. I do appreciate the likes. A lot of happy birthdays to Fran, Aaron, PJ. I just scrolled up. You have 25 orchids. That's amazing. Orchids aren't easy. Oh, they're one of my favorite And I've got one that is always in bloom. I don't understand it. I'm grateful for it, but and I don't have the greenest thumb. I'm really good with trees though. Like I've got a couple money trees that literally have grown to like to the top of my ceiling in my bedroom, and they're almost 8 foot ceilings up there. Okay. Shy was one of them. I've had a bunch of lifetimes. Shaz, what was your most recent lifetime? Okay, it's some past life stuff. I must have scrolled a little bit too far down here. I'm sorry. Let me go back up. Westland, have you ever met a person that was much like one of your spirit guides? I'm gonna have to say no to that actually. I haven't met a person, but you can, spirit guides can show themselves in human form too. So I have had that. I think I've told the story about the angel that was showed himself as a homeless person that I sat and had a talk with. He was actually an angel or a spirit guide, that was had taken on a human form to communicate with me. I don't think any of my spirit guides. I'm just having a little bit of a think with that. Remind me of any living person. So but that doesn't mean that they can't. It's just, from my experience, I haven't had that experience. PJ, glad to say I feel the energy seems to be settling, at least for me. It is settling. Peyton, thank you so much. Lana completely resonates. All of it. I love that. Yes, past life regressions. I am very excited. I got two of them today, so I'm very excited to be doing them. I love past life regressions. Do you think, Lana, do you think like animals, plants have soul contracts with us? Um, I believe that every living thing has a soul. Every living thing. So a plant is living. And I have done regressions where even the person getting the regression was really surprised, and I was too, because the regression script reads, if you find yourself in a physical body, look down at your feet. And when the person did that, they were in a pot. They were planted in a pot. So I do firmly believe now that we do have soul contracts, and remember, soul contracts don't have to have a real seriousness. It can just be, this is a pot that a plant that I'm connected with, and I'm going to look after it. Soul contracts don't necessarily have to be big evolving moments, but I do firmly believe that all living things have a soul, right? So yeah, there's an answer to that question. Maria, I remember reincarnating in this lifetime right after my previous one, but I do feel like that part of my soul is still in the spirit world. It makes sense that if we are multidimensional, absolutely. And remember, Maria, our awareness. So when you think about awareness, when you think about our connection, many of us remain very much connected. When you think of children, when you think of yourself, many of us do stay connected to the spirit dimensions. I spend more time in the spirit dimensions than I do in the physical world. And so some of it can be that my awareness is I'm very much connected. I'm very much still there, as well as having an experience here. And many of us have a lot of memories of being in the spirit dimensions. Many of us have just this deep knowing of being in the spirit dimensions. Many of us, and even in past life regressions, because I don't limit the past life regression to a physical experience. It can be a spiritual experience as well. And people have shared, I don't have a body. It's like I'm an invisible person, and they describe the spirit dimensions. They haven't yet come down. They are connecting to their experience still up in the spirit dimensions, and it's absolutely fascinating. The soul remembers every experience we've ever had, whether it be in this body or in any other body. So the memory sometimes, and that's why a lot of things with irrational fears come in, or that's why because our brain doesn't remember, right? We get a new brain when we come. So our brain doesn't remember, but our soul communicates. So sometimes irrational fears, sometimes having a deep interest in this, like, into a specific country or culture when we don't know why, we're just so infatuated with it. Music, certain cultural music can really pull. I've got certain music that literally puts me to my knees, and I sob. And it wasn't until I did regression work that I understood why. Like, and I don't, and I think I've shared this before. I'm not a big crier. Like, I don't. I'm a good sharer of my emotions, but I'm not a crier. And it literally puts me to my knees. Like, it's very, very deep in my soul. And our soul can be triggered to speak, right? And that's what happens with something is that it's triggered to speak. So, and it'll speak through emotions or through, a connection or through, whatever it is the soul needs to say. All right, you guys, I'm going to grab a couple more questions here and then I've got to go. Um, with all this past life regression stuff, maybe it's time to do a live where we just talk about past lives, or do a Zoom meet where the focus is on past lives. There seems to be a lot of interest here. So maybe I'll take a look at the calendar and maybe we can get that in sometime soon because you guys are really interested in that. All right. Mm. Thanks for the birthday wishes, everyone. You're welcome, friend. We love you. We love you. Mel, I just love you so much, Lana. Thank you. You have a way to reassure me in ways beyond words. I love you too, Mel. I love you too. Mary Emma, hope I pronounced that right, darling. Currently, I feel torn between an old version and a new version of myself. Any advice of letting go and stepping into the new? I'm going to take that question because it's delicious. Okay, so I want to read that question again. I'm currently feeling torn between the old version and the new version of me. Okay, so any advice on letting go? Yes, I do have advice on letting go. So one thing with that old version of yourself, I would like you to just really spend some time in liking her. In being soft with her. I've learned a lot. I also believe that all versions of ourselves do come with us, right? I do. So I feel like letting go will be the situations, letting go of the lessons, letting go, but also with that old version of yourself, think about how much she taught that new version of you, right? That you wouldn't be who you are today in this red hot moment without that old version of yourself getting you there. Right? Like, so I feel like I've got to lean into a little bit of, and I'm just going to pretend that the old version of me is sitting next to me because that's what I like to do. So, Lana, you know what? Like, it's, this old version of yourself. You learned a lot from her. She was doing her best from where she was standing. And she's been a big part of who I am today. Without all of those experiences, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm grateful to that old version of myself. I'm grateful, but I want to give this new version of myself some time to really get to know, and I'm really going to allow that growth, and I'm going to take all that knowledge from the old version of me, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use the word to my advantage. And I'm going to use that knowledge now to help myself be a new version of me. All of those layers, all of the different versions of yourself, they were all for a purpose. They were part of your learning, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when we kind of sit with, and quite often, I'm not saying this is directed at you, but this is just an overall statement. Sometimes we've got some shame there from the old versions of ourselves. Sometimes we've got some anger or frustration with the old version of ourselves. Or sometimes we just simply don't understand the old version of ourselves. And I always, always, always lean to softening it. I'm just going to soften and I'm going to take the lessons and I'm going to soften that because I truly believe, for the most part, and Mariama, when I lean into your energy, I truly believe that the old version of you was doing the best that she could from where she was standing and to understand the physical world. Yes, she learned some lessons. Yes, there may have been some, not so great moments, but I feel like I've got to soften that in order to let her, and in order to just kind of move forward. So rather than letting go, because, and here's the thing, we don't forget, right? So, and that's, we truly don't forget. I would tend to work on the healing energy with it because that's going to help you with the forward momentum. So I would just work on a little bit of the healing energy, sitting, just sitting with that and just saying, okay, 20-year-old me, you didn't understand this and it's okay, and we understand it now, and I'm not going to feel bad for learning that. I'm not going to feel so bad. I've learned and I'm doing better, and this new version of me is growing, and I wouldn't be where I am without the experience. You see how different that feels? So I would kind of tap into that with that older version of you, brought you to this newer version of you because you learned your lessons and you learned from the experience. And I'm so grateful for that. It just feels different, right? Because sometimes we're really hard on those old version. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. What was I thinking? Right? Like I'm so embarrassed. I've got all the shame, right? Like we all have a story, every single one of us. Nobody that is living here on this physical planet is perfect. None of us. We've all learned, we've all tripped, we've all had moments of like, what was I thinking? We've all had, yeah, I should have known better, but we learned, right? So and that's what's important is, did you learn from that? Did you pick yourself up and say, I'm not going to do this anymore? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I also feel like I have to say to you, Mariama, is I also feel like you learned those lessons to help other people. And I feel that people who have had hard experiences, think about how many people you've helped with that energy, because you've got the compassion and you've got the empathy, right? Like all that hard stuff does make us better people to help other people on their journey. I've got parts of my journey that are extremely hard and dark. Right. And I look and I use that to be able to help other people because I know what it's like to trip and fall, and I know what it's like, and you can just relate better and you can help people better with less judgment or no judgment because you've had the experiences. So those experiences make you who you are today, and who you are today is delicious. I hope that that resonates with some of you there. Okay, you guys, I have to get to work. I'll listen. I do too. I do too. Yikes. um yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. Don't overdo it. Don't overload. Um, let's go to. I lost my train of thought. Let's go to. You know what? You guys got to give me a second. My book. I might have to. My book is not here. So give me one moment. It's right across the room. So just give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry. All right, my apologies, you guys. I'm really sorry. There we go. Okay. What do we need to know? Hedgehog. No matter what is going on for you right now, you do no, sorry, I'm going to start that again. No matter what is going on for you right now, do your absolute best to enjoy your life. Retreat from your usual routines for a day or two as a way of refreshing your body and spirit. This is a very fertile time and a creative time for you. So express yourself artistically in some enjoyable way. You have the power, connect. You have a powerful connection with the ancient goddess and energy, whether you're male or female. Work directly with the earth by doing some planting and gardening at your first opportunity. This is a good time to honor your natural curiosity and satisfy it by following any whims, intuitive leads, or inner promptings that occur. Love it. Let's do an angel number. You guys are all laughing at my chair reveal. That's okay. 462, the angels ask you to keep the faith about your prayers being answered. The angels are working behind the scenes to help you, as you'll soon see. That was 462. Aaron, you want 347? Why are you guys all laughing? It's okay, Lana. Chair reveal, yes. What's so funny with my chair? The pillow? That's fine, you guys. I didn't have the book, and because because I was at a group session last night. I brought my books with me. Um, you guys crack me up. Thank goodness you had pants on. Was it that bad? Okay, well, I always had pants on, just so you know. Okay, so Aaron, you wanted 347. Look at you guys. You guys crack me up. Your clear connection with the angels, archangels, and ascended masters has resulted in your receiving and following. You guys are making me laugh, so I'm going to try that again. Your clear connection with angels, archangels, and ascended masters has resulted in your receiving and following very accurate divine guidance. Congratulations and keep going. You're funny. Chair isn't funny. Just your reaction is so cute. Okay, you guys. I love you all so much, and I do love the I do love the vibration of laughter. Um, 419 says Wes. Okay, one more. You guys, I'm pushing the limits here. You guys, I'm gonna have to manifest green lights all the way to my office. You and your angels are working together on the fruition of your divine life purpose. Stay in prayerful contact and communication with the angels so you'll always know the best step to take next. Cheyenne is rolling on the floor. I'll manifest them with you. Thanks, Shy. I manifest green lights all the way to your office. Bless your hearts. Thanks for the laughs. And thank you all for the laughs. And as always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. And thank God I had pants on today. Thank goodness Lana had pants on. That's something to be grateful for. I'm just going to say that loud and clear. It is something to be grateful for. Look at Erin. Look at Kayla. Look at you guys. All right. Kayla's crying. Bubbles, what did I miss? I don't know. I closed the screen down so I could go get my book, and apparently there was a chair reveal and probably a pant reveal. Lana, you're the best. No, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. You got to be able to laugh, you know. And one thing that I always say is always show up as you are. Nothing ever has to be perfect. Nothing ever has to, you can't edit life, right? So I had a choice of either going to get my book or not going to get my book. My abs hurt. Would you guys stop it? Lots of people do Zoom in their underwear. I do not. I always have pants on. It might be pajama pants, but I always have pants on. Um, but that was the choice. So, and I think it's, it's so important that life isn't perfect, right? And there's going to be moments, even when you're filming. I always say show up as you are, and I'm not afraid to show up as I am. So I'm glad that we had a good laugh. Thanks for laughing with me. Will you be here on Monday? I believe so, because I should be doing Zoom sessions. Thank you, Kayla, for bringing me back to that. There seems to be a energy of stalling to get to work here. Um, I will be doing an energy update only on Monday because I do have an appointment at 10 o'clock. So it will be a brief energy update. So, yes, I will be here for the energy update. All right, you guys. I love you. I hope your laughter lasts the weekend. Bye bye.